Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Today's tool review is going to be on 3-plane lasers, more specifically the Cigman laser level. You're going to notice that this was marked paid promotion because they sent me this product. They're not paying me for this review. They didn't tell me what I had to say in this review. They just sent me this product as with all the other ones and said, hey, will you try out our laser? Give us your feedback on that. And I wanted to get this one specifically because I think a 3-plane laser is just phenomenal and will help you do all sorts of things better. If you do any kind of layout, if you do framing, tile work, floorings, acoustical grid ceilings, doors, whatever it might be, a 3-plane laser is a game changer. And if you don't have one, and I would understand why you might not, because I personally have 2 Bosch ones that are green as well, and they will run you right now. I just looked them up. They were $450. I got this one back when it first came out, and I want to say I paid $600 for that. And the only reason why I have this one was because it was on the Home Depot clearance rack one day, and I bought it so that if it ever something happens to this one, I've got it. But that's how indispensable a 3-plane laser is to me. And again, over the course of this video, maybe you'll get to see maybe I could use one of those and how important and how much better it can make your work. And the reason why I wanted to go ahead and do this product here is because of the price point of it. Because I told you these will run you $450, and that's probably why a lot of people don't have one, and I can understand that. This one here is $169 on Amazon right now, and they have a $25 off coupon, so that puts you at $144. And I believe they are going to give me a discount code. I've got to send them a message before I upload this video, so I don't know what it is now. But if they do give me one, I'll put the text in here. And if I don't get it till after I already have it uploaded, I'll put it in the description. So links will be in the description, possibly a discount code. But again, I might also be putting it up here. So we're going to go over what you can actually get in this box, what comes with this laser level for $169. Again, $144 without that coupon, whatever else, I don't know. So you just have to figure out how much the final cost will be for you. So what does that $170 get you that, you might be getting with these $450 ones? That's something for you to look at. So I thought this is a good price point for a lot of people to maybe get in and get you a 3-plane laser. And maybe, again, hopefully over the course of this video, and I explain to you the benefits of it, you'll see that it might be something that would be useful to you. But let's go ahead and dig into this box, see what we got, see what comes with it, what you get for your money. So as we get out of the box, you can see it comes with a fairly nice case. It's kind of like a padded, similar to most like tool type cases that you get. It's pretty decent. Also has a handle on it. So the fact that they give you a case that is foam protected, you have the foam on the top, you've got custom inserts for all your pieces to protect that laser. I think that's a really good deal that comes with that. Again, $144 with that coupon. You're talking about $300 less than some of those other versions. So you get the laser itself. And again, the size of it is actually small, but to me, I actually kind of like that. I like the fact that it's compact, saves space. It's light. It's going to not be as heavy as far as for any attachment you put it on, if you hang it on the wall, those kinds of things. But this is the laser itself. And again, I'll turn it on and we'll look at it more here in just a little bit. You also get a remote control, so you can, change which lasers that you want on. And this also has 4 different brightnesses. Again, I'll show you that in a little bit as well. So you've got a horizontal beam, you got a vertical 1 beam and a vertical 2, and then 4 layers of brightness. So you can have this on you and change if you want to. And again, that's mostly for battery savings or if you want to turn something on a little bit later. So you get a remote control. You also get a green target card for a green laser. And again, this is a green laser. That's for the price that you're getting a green laser is pretty good. Then you also get a charging cable. It is a USB-C charging cable. Now, one thing that they do not give you is the actual thing that you plug in the wall. But I know many of us probably have 1,000 of these things laying around, so you can use any of these. They do give you the cord. They don't give you the wall plate, or the thing that you plug into the wall itself. So you'll have to have one of those, but they do give you the cable. You also get a stand that sits on the ground. All the legs adjust in and out. And then you also have a micro adjustment that as you turn this knob, the laser spins around in a circle. And then you also get a wall mount, so you can put a screw in, mount that to the wall, mount your laser here, and then it also has magnets that you can use as well. So that's what you get in the box for your 169 or 144, whatever you end up getting the price for. You get this nice case, you get the laser, the remote control, a floor mount, a wall mount, and a target card, all within that price. And it's a green laser and 3 planes as well. So now let's talk about some of the functions of this laser. So this laser has 3 different modes, and the one that you're going to use the most is the auto self-leveling mode. And if you take this switch and you flip it all the way as far as it will go, that's what gets you into that mode. And you can see that it is basically leveling itself. So you don't have to level this base. You don't have to have your level on some kind of extremely level surface. It figures it out itself as long as you're remotely flat. You know, you can't be sideways. You can see here that this is another feature. This top green light is green. That means that it is level enough to level itself. But if I was to turn this sideways, you can see that turns red. It starts flashing. That's because that pendulum can't level itself with this much tilt. So it's telling you you need to move this level just a little bit. So again, you do have to have it kind of flat, but you don't have to have it level. So again, that's a really good feature on these lasers these days, because back in the day, some of the first ones I had, you had to actually level the base and then put your laser on in order for it to be level, and that took quite a bit of time. So that's the first mode that you have, is the auto self-leveling, and again, that's the one you're probably going to use the most. The second mode is if you put it here in the middle, you can kind of feel it click once, and if you take and press this red button, hold and press that down for a little bit, it comes on, and you can see that my dot is red even though I'm in that same position. But that's because basically this laser is going to stay at wherever that is. So if I turn this sideways, my line is not going to level itself. It's going to stay at that horizontal, or that kind of a pitched position. And again, you would want to use this if you're installing handrails, if you're installing some kind of a slope on a concrete, something like that, a deck. So I don't use that feature a lot on any of my lasers, but it is a nice feature the times that you do need it, because sometimes you don't need that self-leveling. You just want a line, and that's basically what you're able to get with that. And again, you're able to get all 3 lines. And then the third mode is pulse mode, and in order to be in pulse mode, you have to go to the auto self-leveling and then also hold down this button. And that's nothing that you're going to see with your eye, but basically it's pulsing that laser. And even though they don't offer one, or they don't have it in the box, if you have a line receiver that receives the signal, I have a Bosch one here, I can turn this on. And now if I'm somewhere where perhaps I'm outside and I'm trying to, I can't see the laser as well because it's in daylight, or I'm farther away and it's hard for me to kind of see that, this picks up where that line is and reads that. Whether I can see that line or not, it's sending out that pulse. That's what these read. And the fact that this laser has that on there for $169, that is a really good deal with that. And you can see that's blinking to let you know that that's in pulse mode. I know some of the more expensive models, DeWalt's version doesn't have pulse mode built in. My Bosch ones do, but the fact that, again, you're getting this, and whether or not you'd have to figure out if the line receiver that you have works. Again, I've got the Bosch one. This one works with red and green lasers. It works well with that, but the fact that you have pulse mode in this price range, I think that is a really good offer from this Cigman group to give you that feature built into this. I just think that that's great. So again, you have all these indicators up here. That's basically to tell you if it's level, and then what mode it's in. If it's red and you're in that middle function, it's in that not self-adjusting. Now it's in pulse mode. So you have all 3 planes here with these 3 lines, and you can push these buttons here and turn off each individual one. So there's the vertical, one of the verticals. This will be the horizontal. This will be the other vertical. And then I can also turn these on and off with the remote control as well. So I can press that, press horizontal, turn off the other vertical. All those things allow you, so if you're far away and you want to turn on one and turn it off because you're making some marks and you don't want your line in the way, this is a good feature to have. Not a lot of lasers have that as well. Some new ones might have Bluetooth where you can work it with your phone. And then it also has 4 brightness settings here. Again, you can also press this button to change that on the unit itself, but you can change from the brightest down to the dimmest, and all that does for you is that allows you to gain more battery life. Basically, it says that you can have up to 6 hours at the brightest setting, and then once it starts going down from there, you get into 9 hours at the second brightest, 15 hours at the third, and then 30 hours at that fourth. I normally don't ever use a laser for longer than the 6 hours, so I always pretty much leave mine on the brightest setting. But again, it's just a feature that you have. That's a good thing. And again, it has a rechargeable USB 4000 mAh Type-C battery as far as it takes the Type-C USB. The fact that it lasts that long, that's pretty good, because most other ones don't last that long. And I have had this on for 3 hours already just to test out a feature on it, and I'm still at full charge. So I also tested out to make sure that it didn't turn itself off, because the instructions didn't say that it did or it didn't. And that's one thing that I don't like about my Bosch lasers, is that they turn themselves off after so many hours. So if I'm doing a job and it's 4 hours worth of framing and I'm working off of this one laser line that I'm using as my reference point, well, it will blink and it will turn off on me. And then I've got to go over to the unit. I've got to flip this switch off, flip it back on to get my laser on. Well, touching it in that way, I don't care how good you are, it's going to slightly move your laser off base. So the fact that this doesn't turn itself off, or at least it didn't after 3 hours, I really like that. I like that they decided not to put that in there. I don't know if they just planned to do that or if it's accidental, but I actually prefer that, because I'm never going to just walk off a job site and A, leave my laser there, and B, I'm just not going to forget to turn it off. That's not an issue for me. I'd rather it just stay on until I physically turn it off. If I want to save the battery life, I'll go turn it off. So I like the fact that it doesn't shut off automatically with that. So again, when you get into the target card, it's just your standard target card, nothing special about this. Of course, you know that my favorite target card is the Milwaukee target card. I have a review for that. It works the best of any that I've seen, but they do give you one, so that's nice that they do give you that. And again, this magnetic base, that works extremely well. I've used it today. So maybe if again, you can put this on the wall, but you can also mount this to a hinge on a door, a metal door frame if it's in your job site. Set of scaffolding like I have here, that's a really good place to put it, because then you can just put it on your scaffolding and then raise it up and down on there and adjust that. The magnet mount is probably the best mount of any mount that I have for my laser levels. But as far as for the functionality of all of the features that they give you and the mounts that they give you, the one thing, if I had to give it a kind of a negative, and that's only because I have other ones and because of the work that I do, the attachments aren't quite what you're going to maybe get, or at least they're not what I get with my Bosch lasers. You know, this mount here is extremely nice. It allows me to micro adjust vertically up and down, but more than anything, I need this right here for a ceiling grid attachment, because I do a lot of acoustical grid ceilings. So this attachment is very important to me. But there's a lot of third-party, and maybe Cigman might even have some, I didn't search to see, different mounts out there that you can buy that have this same thing. And you can get those in the $20 to $30 range. So, you know, the fact, again, that you're getting this at probably $300 to $400 less than that name brand, you can definitely find you some accessories and attachments that might be better than what this is, because as long as it's got that 1/4 inch attachment on it, you know, you can basically mount it to whatever you want to. Again, tripods, whatever else that you might use. So that wouldn't be a thing to sway me from buying this, but I'm just saying up front, the attachments and stuff that you get to use it with, they'll work a lot of the times. But again, once you mount this on something on the wall, if you don't have your laser exactly where you want it, there's no fine-tune adjustment to go vertically to fix your horizontal line. And sometimes that might become a nuisance. But again, for the price, I think it's a good deal. So now that I've showed you all the things about it, and you know, the features of it, the modes that you get, all the parts that come with you in the box. I just want to kind of discuss, you know, why a 3-plane laser, because many of you probably have a cross-line laser, which would basically be, you know, you'd have this part of it, but you wouldn't have any of this going in that 360 degrees. So if you had a cross line, let's see which vertical this one is here. This would be very similar to what you have, and you've got that one point out here. You have a laser going all those directions. Well, that's fine in most cases, but there's going to be times where you're going to need that this to go all the way around a room, like you're doing 360 degrees, for instance, like an acoustical grid ceiling. Well, they have lasers that specifically do that, and they're called 360 degree lasers. Well, that's an older type laser. They don't hardly make those anymore. And then they also have vertical lasers, and then they also have plumb point lasers. I have one here that's a Bosch, and you press this button, it puts a dot on the floor, and then it also puts a dot on your ceiling. So that's like a plumb bob, basically. So there's multiple different lasers out there that you could buy 4 or 5 of them to do different jobs specifically, or you can buy this one 3-plane laser. You get a 360 degree laser, you get a plumb bob or a plumb point laser like this, because anywhere where this X meets, so here, and if you were to look behind me, there'd be an X behind me just like that. So that's the same as a point laser. Or if I turn on this vertical line, you can see I have an X here, and if I put my hand up, I'd also have an X up at the ceiling. I have a video of that here where you can see I have an X, and then I also have an X on the ceiling grid. So basically you get a plumb point laser, you get a 360 degree laser, you get a cross line laser, and not only that, you have this square in 4 different directions. So if you're laying out framing, if you're laying out tile work, if you're laying out whatever it is, and square is something that you're looking to get or something to have, this laser will help you to do that. You're not going to be able to do that with your standard cross-line laser on the floor. And again, another thing that I like about a 3-plane laser is since it shoots 360 degrees, I can stick my hand in here. You can see the laser goes over top of my fingers and it continues on. So if you're setting tile, you lay down your mortar, this laser is going to go over your mortar. You're still going to be able to see it. Again, a 3-plane laser is basically a 360 degree laser, a cross-line laser, a plumb laser, a square, all those things all in one laser. So are they expensive? Sure. But if you bought each of those lasers to do those jobs, you'll have more money in those altogether. And you can do this with this one tool in particular. I just think it's a phenomenal tool, something that everybody could use. And again, at this price point, that's why I wanted to get this and share this, because hey, I get it. Not everybody can go spend $400 to $600 on a laser if it's not going to be put to use every day in what you do. But for $169 or less, depending upon what coupons you get, what codes you have, I don't think that you're going to go buy one at Lowe's that's just a cross-line laser. You're going to spend $100 at least. If you buy a brand name one, you know, one of those, either whether it's a Bosch or a Milwaukee or, you know, DeWalt, something like that, you're going to spend a lot of money. And as far as the quality of this laser, whenever I put this up against my Bosch, I'll show you a video of that here. So as you can see, the Bosch is on the right and the top, the Cigman on the left and the bottom. Nice, crisp green lines. I can see both very clearly. They both look very similar. In fact, I knew which one was left and right. They look so much alike that I had to move the laser to see which one was the top and the bottom. That's how close they look and represent with each other. So again, I think between the two, I have no problem saying that they are both very visible. I wouldn't know the difference if I just used one versus the other. They look that much similar to each other. So as far as the Cigman, I think the green line looks extremely nice. It's nice and crisp, very visible. And again, this is in fluorescent lighting, but to me, that's the difference of a green line and a red line with my eyeballs. Again, I don't know if that varies from person to person, but I used to always have difficulty with the red lines in fluorescent lighting or in a well-lit space. It just is a little bit harder to see than the green. you really can't distinguish the two. I honestly would not be able to tell you the difference between the two. If I put one up and you didn't show the laser that was shooting it, and you put the Bosch up next to it, they're almost identical, exactly the same. And as far as for me testing it with my level, I could also see that they were both the equivalent. Of course, I'm only using a 2-foot level there, but both vertical and horizontal, both were well within, you know, spec of being what I would call level. And again, just think about working by yourself. If you set doors, if you're framing, it's so much easier to not have to hold a level in your hand and to go and do the work and let this line show you what you need to do. Again, I can't think of a tool that has come out in the last 10 years that's been more important to me than this 3-plane laser, that has changed how I work, the quality of my work, how effective I am. And again, if you've got red lasers and you haven't tried a green laser, I think the green is the way to go. It's way better in lit situations. A red shows up fairly well in dark, but if you're under fluorescent and LED lights in an interior or finish work type space, the green is a big difference. And again, those are typically more expensive as well, so even throw that in. You're getting a 3-plane green laser for around $150. I mean, I think that it's a phenomenal deal, and I hope that this is useful to you guys. I hope that there's something within this that you've been maybe wanting to get one of these. I would buy this in a heartbeat at this price. Again, I've got plenty of other lasers that's working for me. I use this to lay out the framing job that I'm currently working on, and I went behind with my Bosch laser just because, again, I haven't used this much, just to test it, and it's identical. It didn't do anything. My Bosch's didn't do anything different than this one did. So for the price point, this one would stay in my truck for sure. And this will be the one maybe that I get out because it's so much smaller, so much more compact. When you look at the size difference between the two and the weight, this one weighs at least 3 times as much as this one by itself. So again, just let me know if this is useful to you guys. Let me know if you use a 3-plane laser in your life. Let me know if you're a green laser or a red laser person. I'm really interested in that because I've always kind of wondered, is that a personal eyeball thing, the green and the red, or is it pretty much everybody? You can see the green better than the red. I know I can. It's without a doubt the green laser is so much more bright, so much clearer, and I also can see it at farther distances and in well-lit areas. So I think green makes all the difference for me anyways. I probably would never buy a laser again that's not green. But again, for the price, and check the description, or again, I'll put the discount code up here if they get with me before I upload the video. It's always hard to edit these things after you upload them. But let me know if this was useful. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And if you have one of these, share your thoughts in the comments below. I've only had it for a few weeks. I've been kind of putting it into use before I talked about it. I always like to do that. If somebody sends me something, I tell them ahead of time I'd like to at least use it for a few weeks before I give my thoughts on it, and they were well okay with that. So I want to thank Cigman for sending me this. I think that this is a great tool. I think it's going to be great for a lot of people out there. So again, let me know what you guys think. I hope that you guys stay safe and have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next video.